Hello, and welcome to Sports Fan Entertainment as the Tennessee Titans fall to the Kansas City Chiefs 35-24. I have come on here multiple times in the past, how many years has it been now? Roughly for the past 6 years. For 6 years, and consistently for 5. I've come on here after each and every Tennessee Titans football game, through the highs and through the lows. This is the lowest of the lows. It's close. It is close. The Mariota broken leg, week 16, 2016, was very close. And that game was sadder. But considering the height of this game, yeah, it hurts more. Especially when this week, it became more than just us. Everyone here, look, we're true fans, we're real fans, we're the die-hard fans. If you are watching this channel, if you're watching Sports Fan Entertainment on YouTube.com, you are no casual Tennessee Titans fan. You are a real Tennessee Titan fan. You are going through and through. You're watching week by week. You know all the players. You know all the intel. And you follow me, who gives you even more of what you love. But this week, it went a little beyond us. We had the people that wait in the wings, in the bushes, the front-running fans, coming out of the woodwork, joining on the bandwagon. That is what happened this week. All those people that love to say time and time and time again that, oh, the Titans suck, they're never going to win, even they began to jump on the bandwagon. It was going to be a party for the next 2 weeks, and it fell today. And the most frustrating thing about this game, this is the most frustrating thing about this entire game to me. I can't believe in how we really lost this football game. Now, people have an idea of why we lost this football game, and they're wrong. I've heard people say that we lost this football game because at the end of the day, the Chiefs are just a much more talented team than us. This is false. This is a falsity. This is a false statement that is being propagated. There are only 2 defensive players on the Chiefs I will take over any defensive player at their equal position on the Tennessee Titans. Tyrann Mathieu at the strong safety position and Chris Jones on the defensive tackle. Every other Chiefs defensive player, throw them out. Do not talk to me about the Kansas City Chiefs running backs. Damian Williams and LaShawn McCoy would not make most of the teams in the league, but they can make the Chiefs, and that'd be about it. Their offensive line, it's decent. It's even pretty good. Their quarterback and their wide receivers, okay, they're good. But in terms of talent through and through the 53-man roster, I don't want to hear that the Chiefs are so much more talented than us. At the quarterback position, yes. Wide receiver position, yeah. I'm not even willing to go that far. Because imagine Patrick Mahomes with this wide receiver core. All of a sudden, by the way, as A.J. Brown and Corey Davis are looking fine to me, they take the next step. So I'm not even sure that they have a better wide receiver core. You want to say more speed? Yeah, okay, I'll give you more speed. Better wide receiver core, I don't want to hear that. So I don't want to hear that they have a better roster than us. Better quarterback and the best talent on the field, yes. More talent overall, no. That's ridiculous to me. That's a falsity. I do not want to hear that we lost this football game because Ryan Tannehill didn't do this, or that, and he certainly did. I'm going to get into that in a moment, but that's not why we lost the football game today. The Kansas City Chiefs were more physical than us. We lost in the trenches? Today? How were we able to be so much better in the trenches against the Baltimore Ravens than the Kansas City Chiefs. And that is something I will never be able to understand. I am going to die one day, hopefully in the distant future. And in this future, I will still not understand how that Kansas City Chiefs team was more physical than us today. How we were dominated in the trenches today. That is something I will never understand in my life. You will never be able to ever explain to me how that team was more physical than us today and dominated us in the trenches today. You will never be able to explain that to me. This offensive line, which had been playing so well in these playoffs, regressing to the nonsense we saw in the first 6 weeks. Really, first 8 weeks. 9 weeks. I will never be able to explain that to you. If someone could explain that to me, I'd love to hear it. This team, this offensive line, which had helped Derrick Henry rush for over 180 yards for the first 2 weeks, disappeared. They disappeared in the run protection and the pass protection today. Absolutely. How did this happen? How did this happen? Can someone just tell me how that happened? I knew Patrick Mahomes was going to make his plays. I knew he was going to make his plays. Oh, he's going to make his plays. He's probably the best quarterback out in the league right now. In fact, I would say yes, he is. And I have Russell Wilson as a close second. But how we were dominated in the trenches. I mean, how our offensive line could not protect and give Tannehill the time that he needed in the second half to try to make a comeback to win this game. How we could not open up holes for Derrick Henry. And then ultimately, where this game was lost to me, at the end of the first half, where we get the ball back after a Kansas City Chiefs touchdown, they make the score 17-14, and we run, screen pass to Dion Lewis. Arthur Smith, returning to midseason form at the worst possible moment. And I had said all playoffs, we need to get the ball to A.J. Brown and Corey Davis. And it was fine because we were running the ball over the Ravens and the Patriots. But these are our wide receivers that can make plays, our playmaking wide receivers. We need to get them involved. And it was too little, too late today. Because we just got way too predictable offensively. Look, we need to run the ball, absolutely. But we need to be balanced. And we fell asleep and we fell in love with what we had done the past 2 weeks. When really, we should have been prepared to throw the rock multiple times in this game. Most specifically when the Chiefs were on a goal line formation at the 40-yard line. You have to throw the rock. You have to keep them on their toes. You cannot run for the 7, 8 consecutive first downs that we did. There's a difference between doing what you should do and being way too predictable. That is way too predictable offensively. We need to run the ball. 8 straight first downs? Ridiculous. And that run, pass killed us because it allowed Patrick Mahomes to go down the field and score the touchdown that he did to give the Chiefs all the momentum at the end of the first half. That's where the game was lost to me in terms of the specific sequence. But overall, it was lost in the trenches. As Patrick Mahomes sat in that pocket and was in no real danger. Can someone tell me why Camila Correa was the best defender on the Tennessee Titans defense today? A defense in which Kevin Byard was most recently paid as the highest paid free safety in the league. Did he look like the best free safety in the NFL today? Jarrell Casey, who's one of the highest paid 3-4 defensive linemen in the league. Did he look like that today? There were plays to be made No one made them. Except for Camilo Correa. He's the only defender that gets a passing grade from me today. Everyone else failed. Pretty miserably, in fact. Disappointed. Very disappointed. Because these times are fleeting. 16 years it's been since our last AFC Championship game. How many more years will it be? This was a shot. This was an opportunity. And ultimately, I think something else that we do need to consider is I think we kind of ran out of gas. You know, it's a lot to ask for you to go on the road week 17 and beat Houston. On the road the wild card round against New England. On the road against Baltimore. On the road against Kansas City. It's a lot to ask. And this is why home field advantage in the playoffs is an important thing. It's why there has not been an AFC team to make it that has not had a first round bye week in, I don't know, at least approaching 10 years at this point, if not more than that. And in the NFL, it's been since 2012, and that streak continues with us losing today. This is a consistent thing in which we see. This is why having the bye week matters. This is why having home field advantage matters. I do really believe we just kind of ran out of juice. It's just a lot to ask to win 4 consecutive road games in this league. 3 of which are in the playoffs. 3 of which were against very good teams. All of them against playoff teams. That's a lot to ask. So I think we ran out of juice. Now, I don't know if that's a legitimate excuse to you. It's not to me. But it's the truth. I think we ran out of gas. You know, it's just a lot to ask. It's a lot of luck in which you're relying upon to be able to win 4 straight. And we just ran out of it late. So, you know, just very frustrating, very disappointing. And, you know, you look at the first quarter and things were going very well to me. I mean, we had to settle for the 3 points on the first drive. But for us to stop Kansas City on the next drive, for us to score a touchdown on that next drive, and to run the clock a little bit and to impose Derrick Henry's will on the Kansas City Chiefs defense, it was started great, then up 10-0, and then the Chiefs respond. But I liked that even though they responded, we were forcing them to play our game, to have long, lengthy drives. And I felt comfortable with that. They were playing our game. We were playing their game. And then again, we scored a touchdown. We were up 17-7. Things were going well. Things were going very, very, very well. Extremely well. But then came the mistake to me. Shortly after the Chiefs scored yet another touchdown, and then it was 17-14. And then again, the run pass by Arthur Smith. It was just too predictable. It was too conservative. We weren't prepared to throw the rock like we were when we faced the Kansas City Chiefs earlier this season, like we were in Oakland this season, like we were against the New Orleans Saints, even though we lost the game, but still. We weren't prepared to throw the ball like that in this game for some reason. Now, I know it was a colder game. But we got too reliant on Derrick Henry, man. We lost our balance. And we got away with it for 2 weeks. But ultimately, we lost our balance offensively. And we weren't able to throw it when we needed to. And we threw it too late when we needed to. And this is what happened. We got caught with our pants down. Systematically. Patrick Mahomes runs in for this touchdown in which horrible tackling jobs. Rashad Evans takes a poor angle. You see Amani Hooker. Oh my goodness. And he's a rookie and hopefully he'll learn from this moment. But just flailing. Just a swan dive, a dolphin dive. I don't even know how to describe it. I want to say a dolphin dive towards Patrick Mahomes, missing horrendously, and then Tremaine Brock trying to strip Patrick Mahomes before he goes into the end zone, failing in that manner. And then Patrick Mahomes gets in for the touchdown. I mean, one of the most back-breaking plays you'll see in Tennessee Titans history. Not much is going to top that, people. I mean, not much is going to top that. So we saw that, and at that moment, you felt uneasy. You felt problematic. But even then, you know, you still felt that we could come back and win because this is a team in which we were down by 9 points this very season. This very season, we were down 9 points to the Kansas City Chiefs. And despite being down 17-21, I still felt we were going to come back and win this football game. And then we stopped them in the first drive to start the second half. But then offensively, we try to run the ball again. We try to be predictable again. And again, I know we have to feed the beast. We have to feed Derrick Henry. It was my number one key for my tighten up keys to the game. But they had answered it. Like, they had answered our run game. It was obvious that they were not going to allow us to run the ball until we could prove that we could throw the ball first. That was the most obvious thing today that Arthur Smith did not see until it was too late. Until it was too late. And then the Chiefs again drive on us. I'm incredibly disappointed in Logan Ryan, who again people told me time and time again is a Pro Bowler. He ain't no Pro Bowler. And he showed that again today. He can rack up all the tackles he wants. Even the sacks are great. Even the strips he's had. Fantastic. He is not a great cover corner, people. He is not a great cover corner. And if you're not a great cover corner, you ain't no Pro Bowl corner. You ain't making no Pro Bowl. Adoree Jackson, wasn't that bad. In fact, I want to blame a lot on the zone coverage because there was a lot of zone coverage today. And I know they're very speedy. They have these speedy wide receivers. But you just can't let Patrick Mahomes sit there against a 3-man rush against zone coverage. This is ridiculous. He's going to pick you apart every time. And that's what we tried to do. And without a lead, it wasn't going to work, even with a lead. We just, to me, had to just say, okay, man coverage. Only one maybe zone coverage, Tyreek Hill, but Sammy Watkins, etc., they're going to have to beat us. They're just going to have to beat us. That's going to have to be their move. So offensively, you get the ball back, and then down 28-17. Okay, then we're like, okay, now we need to start throwing the football to start the fourth quarter. Okay. And then the offensive line lets us down. It returns to mid-season form again. Taylor Lewan, Jack Conklin, Nate Davis, didn't matter. All of them regressed back to mid-season form. Ben Jones got crushed. And Tannehill couldn't do anything. And I'm not going to blame Tannehill for today. Do not blame me wrong. I'm not blaming Tannehill for today. But here's the fact of the matter, people. We had 3 playoff games. Tannehill didn't win us 1. Now, he made plays to win 2 of them. He made like 5 plays in each game. Yeah, it's all right. This is why you franchise tag Ryan Tannehill. He has not been significant for 5 weeks. You see that quarterback on the opposite side? That's a difference maker. That's someone that needs to be paid top quarterback money. Tannehill didn't win us a playoff game. Great touchdown pass to Khalif Raymond. Great rushing touchdown. Great rush for a first down here and there, picking spots, making plays. That was game managing, people. Let's call it what it is. Alex Smith can give you that. Why are you paying for that? You don't pay for that. Tannehill did not win or perform very particularly well in one playoff game. You cannot throw for less than 90 yards in 2 playoff games and tell me that he won you the game. That's nonsense. He did not win you 1 playoff game. Patrick Mahomes is winning the Chiefs every single playoff game. Now, you don't have to have a Patrick Mahomes. I'm not saying you need to have, because everyone's looking for a Patrick Mahomes. You're not going to find a Patrick Mahomes. But that's a quarterback that needs to get paid top money, and that's a quarterback that needs to be franchise tagged. Because when Derrick Henry couldn't do you anything, couldn't give you, well, not anything, but it definitely wasn't on like he's been on, and it was on him to make some plays, and the offensive line wasn't protecting, all of a sudden you're like, hey, Tannehill's dependent on other players. Who would have thought? Kind of like the boy on the bench. Who would have thought? So, it's just unfortunate. We got our hopes up. And I said it to start my previous video. I said, this is what happens when we get our hopes up. You know, the fun fact about me. There's a fun fact about me. And I'm only 23, so this isn't maybe saying much to some of you. I have not told anyone in my life, other than my immediate family, I love you. There is not anything... Actually, the occasional friend. Yeah, I've told the occasional friend I love you. But I've never been in love with a girl before. Never in my life. I'm in love with this football team. I would give it all for this football team. There's been plenty of time I picked this football team over the potential for love. I already have my love right here, baby. And it's beautiful. And it just hurts when it doesn't come through. But now we'll get a little positive. We do have a lot that is being built here. We have Derrick Henry, the beast running back. Still young and needs to be extended, don't get me wrong. But we still have him waiting in the wings. We still have A.J. Brown, the best rookie wide receiver since Michael Thomas. You still have Corey Davis, who I still have faith in. I know a lot of you guys don't, but I do. And I have confidence in this wide receiver duo that we have in Tennessee right now. I have faith in Adam Humphries as a number 3 wide receiver. The offensive line still frustrates me, but still young. And we'll see about Jack Conklin in the offseason. He's an upcoming free agent. But Nate Davis should only get better. I mean, it shouldn't be hard. He was so god-awful this year. He should improve. And defensively, you still have a young and improving Harold Landry. Although I'm not happy with him today either. And I'm also not happy with Kevin Byard or Adoree Jackson. Adoree Jackson wasn't horrible today, but I'm not really happy with anyone defensively except for Camilo Correa. That's the only one I'm happy with. But we still have Reggie Evans. Or no, not Reggie Evans. Sorry, Rashad Evans. We still have... Oh, Rashawn Evans, sorry. We still have Jayon Brown. We still have Kenny Vaccaro. We just need a little more. We need that stud pass rusher. That's what we need. We need him. We need him. And we're going to go through the list of names of potential options. And for Tighten Up Thursdays, I'm not sure. I don't have anything planned. I'm going to do it. I'm even, by the way, for the offseason, let me take a drink real quick. This is not alcoholic this time. This is just straight up Pepsi. I swear. I definitely, I'm not a depressive drinker. Hell no. I realize that doesn't solve any problem, man. This is some good old diet Pepsi, bro. Trust me. Anyway, we're going to go through maybe even this week and start looking at free agents, we'll probably have to start looking, with my own or with our own free agents before we look at, potential options out there. But we may even be a little eager and go ahead and do that. But I will still, every single week, be doing Tighten Up Thursdays every single week. And there's going to be a lot of weeks where I'm just going to be stretchy. There ain't going to be no news, no rumors, no headlines. I'll just figure something to talk about for at least 20 minutes. I'm going to be stretching for content. during the offseason. But for right now, we'll still have a lot to talk about. So anyway, definitely going to look for pass rushers. I mean, we need a stud pass rusher on this team. It got pathetic. And with Jarrell Casey not giving us elite play anymore, man, we need to get after the quarterback with someone else. I mean, he could stay on the team. I still want him on the team. But if he's not going to be the elite pass rusher, and Jeffrey Simmons, look, I still love him moving forward, but he's never going to be a double-digit sack guy. He might have a double-digit sack season or 2 or 3, but he's never going to be a consistent double-digit pass rusher sack guy. So you're definitely going to have to get a pass rusher opposite of Harold Landry. Like, it is just so necessary. And that's going to help Harold Landry out a lot because Harold Landry, I think he's fine as the number one passer. I think he's fine in that role, but I would love to see him not have to go up against, the left tackle all the time. And he does line up on the other side, too, don't get me wrong. But I'd love for him to face, offensive lines where he's not the biggest threat. And he was a bigger threat this year in terms of getting sacks than Jarrell Casey. Only 5 sacks for Jarrell Casey in the regular season. I want to say 9 for Harold Landry. So that's just the way it is. So we need another guy. I mean, we just need another guy. And I'm still okay on the secondary. I mean, they can let up their fair share of plays. And, I didn't even get to Tremaine Brock. Tremaine Brock, bad day for him, falling down on that play. And by the way, I didn't even talk about this. Thank you for reminding me of this. And no one reminded me. Thank myself for reminding myself of this. Can you guys believe, and the game was almost over at this point. To a lot of people, the game was over, but to me, it was not over at this point. I could not believe the pass interference call at the end of the game. On Tremaine Brock, that was a horrible call, an awful call. And if I was Mike Vrabel, I would have challenged it. And I had a lot of people telling me on Twitter, no, you can't challenge that. You're not going to win the challenge. Well, you're not going to win this game. if that stands. So you got to challenge it because, look, he barely even touched him. He looked around at the very end. But even if he didn't look around, that's playing the wide receiver legally to me. Absolutely legally. The only thing he did was he put his hand in a position where the wide receiver cannot put his hand or his arm through his arm. But that's legal. This was absolutely a legal coverage by Tremaine Brock. They called pass interference with 4 minutes left. If they get a stop there, the clock stops. The game is still on. I don't think we come back and we win, but it's just frustrating that is what did us in. That is a very frustrating thing. So, Tremaine Brock, look, I'm going to give you, the benefit of the doubt on that one. I did not believe that was pass interference. However, the previous play in which you let Sammy Watkins absolutely kill you deep, okay, that's your fault. You can't fall down on that. He fell down on that, and, we got burned by Patrick Mahomes, and then that was where the game ended on that touchdown. So, very unfortunate there. And, this whole game was pretty unfortunate at the end of the day, at least for us, for Kansas City Chiefs fans. And I'll address the Chiefs right now. Congratulations. You guys won the game, and you guys have the best quarterback in the league right now, and he's putting you over the top, and that's a beautiful thing. Despite the fact that Andy Reid is still doing everything in his powers to stop his team from winning the Super Bowl. I mean, this guy's time management, his clock management, his game management continues to shock me and how bad it is. But Mahomes will continue to bail him out, and we'll see if he can do so 2 weeks from now in Super Bowl 54 in Miami. Congratulations, though. You guys deserved it for sure, and I'm sure we'll be seeing you again down the road in the very near future. So, with that said, I'll open up to the chat. I know there was a super chat that I wanted to get to, so I'll get to that. But again, we're going to sulk tonight. I mean, the game's on right now, the NFC Championship game. 49ers are currently up 7-0. I expect the 49ers to win this game and to cover this 7.5-point spread, as I mentioned before. We'll see about that, but I'm pretty confident about that. And, moving forward for this team, and we're going to have more of these discussions coming up. I don't even know what are y'all doing tonight? Now, how are you guys going to mourn this loss tonight? I don't even know what I'm gonna do. My heart got so invested here. I have not felt heartbreak like this in my life in a while. I mean, it's been a legitimate while, and it hurts. I mean, I don't know what to do, man. I'm not turning to the booze though. I'm not doing it. No, not on a Sunday night. I'll let some of y'all do that. I'm not gonna do that. I probably need to do something. I'll just maybe play Madden or something. I don't know. I need some form of catharsis. I want to slap somebody, to be quite honest with you, but I don't know. I don't want to do that. Maybe I'll just drink my Diet Pepsi. Maybe I'll stress eat. Okay, I'll probably just eat. I'll eat a crap ton and I'll fall asleep. Okay, and then that's what I'm gonna do. And I gotta go to work this week. Oh, what a long work week. I don't even have off for tomorrow. A lot of people have off for tomorrow for MLK. My company doesn't care. I don't have off for tomorrow. This is a disaster. So, if you have any comments for me in the chat, at me at SportsFan Entertainment. I will answer as many as I can handle with my heavy, heavy heart. And then we will get out of here. And let me try to find that super chat real quick. So the super chat, if YouTube wants to tell me. Yes, it came from the OG Dirk Diggler, who said, love the channel. Casey was a better team all the way. And again, I'm just not buying it. I mean, you can tell me that, hey, they have the better game, but their defense is trash, man. It's an awful defense. Outside of Chris Jones and Teron Matthew, it's a terrible defense. And maybe Charvarius Ward is a decent cover corner, but Breeland's had his struggles all year long. Sorensen is a decent safety. He can make some decent plays, but he's not a consistent safety in this league at all. And Chiefs fans can tell you that. Just ask them yourself. Terrell Suggs is old. He's decrepit. He's decaying on the field. You can see him deteriorating before your eyes. Okay, I don't need to tell you about that. They picked him up on the street 2 weeks ago. So I don't want to hear about no T-Sizzle, nothing. Tano, Passeon, who? Okay, don't talk to me about this Kansas City Chiefs team. Their defense is trash. I don't buy that they're a better team at all. If you want to tell me that they're a better coach today, I'll buy that. If you want to tell me that they wanted it more today, I'll buy that. I think we just ran out of gas, and it's just unfortunate it had to be this week. All right, so we move on to the chat, and we start with King Wannabe, who says, "As sports fan entertainment, upset our boys lost, but gotta love our boys lost, but gotta love the effort Vrabel got out of these guys. Good season. I feel Dean messed up today by only rushing 3 most of the game. Your thoughts?" And I would agree for the most part, but there were also plenty of plays where we only rushed 3, but still Mahomes got the ball out quickly and still completed the pass. You know, there were multiple times where, we still rushed 3 and Mahomes still completed the pass quickly. So I just had more of a problem with the zone coverage. I just didn't like the zone coverage, and maybe they beat us deep if we play man coverage, but you got to try it to me. You just, to me, can't allow him to just pick you apart in terms of zone coverage. And yes, sometimes we would disguise a lot of man coverage, but it ended up being zone coverage again. So I think that was the main miscalculation. I definitely don't want to rush 3. I agree with you on that. But I feel like that wasn't the only problem, for sure. Just the zone coverage was more of a problem to me than rushing 3. All right, David Patterson. And again, if you want me to answer a question, make sure to at me in the chat at SportsFan Entertainment. When it's highlighted orange, that's what helps me read it easier. David Patterson said, "At SportsFan Entertainment, what's your early Titans 2020 record?" I'm thinking 10-6 or 11-5. I'm not doing that this year because who knows right now? We don't even know what our team is going to look like. We have no idea. There are too many upcoming free agents. Right now is not the time for that. It's just not. Trust me on that. Andrew Contreras said, "At Sports Fan Entertainment, if you want Leonard Floyd on the Bears, you can have him for a bag of Skittles." I mean, I'd take him as a nice rotational pass rusher. He definitely isn't the answer that we need, but I would definitely take him. I would absolutely take him. All right, Alex Preston said, "As Sports Fan Entertainment, MJ, at least you have Sunday Night Football to look forward to next season." I mean, let's see about that, because I'm not sure we're getting that. I mean, I don't think the NFL cares much for us at all. So I need to see that before I believe that. But sure, if we are on Sunday Night Football, I at least can look forward to that. John Paul said, "At Sports Fan Entertainment, I went to GTA to release my anger, if that sent any clues, And I honestly wouldn't mind letting go of Casey. No, let's not go that far. I definitely want to hold on to Jarrell Casey, but I'm disappointed in Jarrell Casey. And I know that's very controversial to a lot of people, and a lot of people are going to tell me that, well, we were only rushing 3 a lot. So how can you expect Jarrell Casey to make a play? Because he's getting paid over $12 million a year. Is that a good enough answer for you? Because he's getting paid more than $12 million a year. When you're getting paid over $12 million a year, you got to make a play in the AFC title game. Period. That's just the end of the discussion. The discussion starts and ends with, oh, how much is he getting? Oh, he better make a play. He better make a play. He's going to pay too much to not make a play in the AFC Championship game that he has claimed that he has looked forward to his entire life. Today he had 2 tackles. He has to do better than that. Anyway, moving on to Aaron Smith. I almost said Aaron Naismith. Aaron Smith, who said, as sports fan entertainment, the offensive line was so terrible. And yeah, I mean, it regressed to the mean, or at least our mid-season form. Let me say that. It regressed to mid-season form, and I don't get it. And this is why we're going to go here again. Actually, let me not even go there. I'm not even going to go there. Actually, I'm going to go there. This is why. Look, Tannehill, without a doubt, sparked the revolution for our team. But why are we not blaming Tannehill today? Because you could see with your eyes. Wow, he really has no protection to make any plays. Who else could you say that about this season? That's all I'm going to say. Okay? All right. Lil Debbie said, as sports fan entertainment, do you think Tannehill will regress because teams will now have a good enough amount of film on him? Well, let me tell you, he's not going to lead the league in pass rating next year, and that's if he's on our team, which I presume he will be. But, yeah, he's not going to lead the league in pass rating, that's for sure. So there's going to be a regression in terms of that. I do still believe he'll play well, though. So I will not go that far to say, like, a lot of people say that, he's going to turn back to the Ryan Tannehill. Well, no, I do believe with the better talent that we have on this team than he had in Miami that he will be better than he was in Miami. Consistently better and markedly better and significantly better. But I don't expect him to be leading the league in pass rating next year. Definitely not. All right. We have another super chat. It comes from Wander Just Go, who says, hey, MJ, I'm warning with you. The Titans broke this girl's heart today, but still proud of them. Yeah, I am. And I don't want to seem too negative. I know that's very easy for me. I am still proud. Okay, maybe proud is stretching it. I'm proud of them for this season. I'm not even going to say I'm proud of them today. I'm not very proud of them today. But this season, yes, I am proud of them this season. I know it doesn't seem like it. My heart is in mourning and grieving. Okay, I'm in one of the first early stages of depression. Okay, let me go through them, or grieving, whatever. 5 stages of grieving. I'm going through them one by one here. Let me progress. Okay, let me go through. Let's not rush any of the steps. But I am proud of them for this season. I will give you that. I'm proud of them for this season. And for them not giving up when they were 2-4 to start the season. All right, Explicit Pete said, thoughts on Tannehill tonight. He had 2 very close interceptions and looked off. Do you think the magic ran out? Yeah, so Tannehill, overall, I'd give him a fine grade. I'd give him probably a B- grade, maybe a C+. But look, you're right, he had the near interceptions, and he had the 2 low passes. Remember that low pass to A.J. Brown? This was in the 3rd quarter when we needed to start driving and score points. Had a low pass to A.J. Brown. Had another low pass, I want to say, to Adam Humphries that Humphries actually came down with. But I was like, what's going on with this guy? So definitely not the Ryan Tannehill that we saw. So here's the thing. We have not seen the significantly different Ryan Tannehill, the Tannehill that we love to believe for a number of weeks now. He's been more of a game-managing Ryan Tannehill, and that's fine because he's still pretty good. But this is why, again, I say you franchise tag him. I'm just telling you right now. These people that want to pay this guy over $30 million a year, y'all are out of your minds. When you can just franchise tag him, he's back next year, game over. Or at least you go into negotiating period with him in the offseason, where he's not going to sign for any other team after that. You franchise him, he's yours. Or he's either going to be someone else's under your conditions. You do not extend this guy for over $30 million per year because you had a nice little run. Because people are already saying that we're no different than the 2017 Jaguars or the 2010 New York Jets, who went to the AFC Championship, who failed, and then disappeared into nothing afterwards. And I do not believe that that's who we are. But you have to look out for that possibility. And under that possibility, oh my God, the Jets they had Mark Sanchez on a rookie deal. But imagine they would have extended Mark Sanchez at that point. Imagine we were the 2017 Jaguars and we do what they did and they extended Blake Bortles. Now, Tannehill's better than Bortles. Bortles was going off of that one good year after multiple bad years. Tannehill's coming off a great year off of many average years. So you feel better about Tannehill than you did Bortles. But still, chill, dog. Nick Foles went on a Super Bowl run. Now the Jaguars are paying his ridiculous contract. Just chill. Franchise tag. It's the most simplest option. You got to do it. They have to prove it over time. You do not saddle your ship to a guy that came in, did pizza for 10, 11 weeks. That's ridiculous. You franchise tag him. That's what you do. I'm telling you. Everything is on the line if you give this guy over $30 million a year and he ends up regressing back to Miami Dolphins Ryan Tannehill. We're going to be sat next to Miami Dolphins Ryan Tannehill, who's no better than Andy Dalton, who's no better than Cincinnati Bengals Andy Dalton. We're going to be in trouble. We're going to be in trouble. Continuing. We have So Drew, who said on Sports Entertainment, what do you think about getting another wide receiver to come and challenge Corey Davis? I feel we need another guy that consistently makes plays against good corners. No, because to me, that's what A.J. Brown was. Again, I think Corey Davis, I still have my frustrations with him, but I still like him, man, especially with A.J. Brown being as good as he is. I like Corey Davis, and I thought he had a good game today. Did no one else think Corey Davis had a good game today? He definitely had a good game today, so I think the Corey Davis hate is a little overblown. I mean, he definitely wasn't worth the number 5 overall pick, but I still think he's a damn good number 2 option in this league, and I want to keep him. I don't think we need another wide receiver right now. I think we're good on the wide receiver room right now, unless we have an injury next year. Alec Darnell said at Sports for Entertainment, I'm going to go cry, and trust me, you're not alone on that. Classic Ride Society said at Sports for Entertainment, you think a better free agent option than Tannehill? I mean, here's the thing. You just can't go down that road. You can't pay Cam Newton crazy money. You can't pay even Brady to come in here for a couple years. You can't pay Phillip Rivers after what Tannehill did in this team. But you already know what Tannehill looks like with this team. To me, you just can't go away from that and just pick up Cam Newton or Phillip Rivers. Although, if you're telling me right now, bet on who's going to be better in the second half of their careers, Tannehill or Cam Newton, I don't know. I actually do not know the answer to that question. I don't know with Cam Newton and his health and his situation and what's going on there. I can't really speak to that. Cam might be better moving forward than Ryan Tannehill. Rivers, no, I don't think so. Brady, the only thing with Brady, and we could use a Tom Brady today, I feel like even Brady wouldn't have got us a victory today. I can't even go that far. He might have. I don't think so, though. I don't think so. So, I think you just got to stick with Tannehill, even over the free agent options. So, Dino Dillinger said at Sports for Entertainment, what's the bigger need, elite shutdown corner or elite pass rusher? And I think it's definitely elite pass rusher. Because, again, I like our secondary. It's not great. We don't have a shutdown corner. That's for sure. But I think with another better, an elite pass rushing option, and not only, and I keep talking about Harold Landry, but not only would Harold Landry benefit, but Gerald Casey would also benefit because he would be getting double team less, and Jeffrey Simmons would also be opened up more. I think one more pass rusher would just open up our front seven so much, everyone would start getting pressure, and it'd be beautiful. I think we just need one more force, and then you're going to see a lot of people being a lot more efficient in terms of the front seven up front. That's really what I want to see. And I expect, by the way, Dean Pease to retire, and I think this comes with pros and cons. Because I like his bend but don't break defense. I do like this. However, we could use a more aggressive defense. We could. And I think a new defensive coordinator might bring that. I'm actually excited for that. I'm actually pretty excited for that. You know, it worked very well against Lamar Jackson. It worked very well against the Patriots offense and how bad they've been this year. It did not work today. So maybe we do need something different because the Chiefs don't appear to be going anywhere. But this league is very fragile, let me tell you that. Especially after Patrick Mahomes signs his huge extension that he's going to this offseason. We'll see what type of adjustments they make in terms of their personnel. So, that's something to look out for right now, people, but definitely an elite pass rusher. So, we had another super chat from Wanna Just Go. Thank you for the super chat. And she says, also, I was hoping that we got Marcus Mariota a ring before he left us. And yeah, I mean, it would have been nice for sure. And I'm watching that situation vigilantly. I know people either love Mariota or hate Mariota, and it's either one or the other. It's going to be interesting, dog. People will be paying just as much attention. Maybe not just as much attention. But people will be paying a lot of attention to Mariota next year, where he goes and what he does every week. And I'm not going to talk about it every week, but I'm going to talk about it occasionally because it's just going to show us a lot. It is going to show us a lot. We are going to learn a lot when we see Mariota on a different team next year. About the team that we have right now, about the coach that we have right now, about the GM that we have right now. A lot will be learned next year. And I'm very, very, very intrigued, but I'm still betting on my boy. Okay? I'm still a fan of us, and I want us to beat him every time we play him. But I'm still a fan of my boy. I'm sorry. I don't know what to tell you. I'm still a fan of my boy. All right. So, just a couple more, and then we'll get out of here. Let's see. Foster Tate said, as sports for entertainment, what do you think about the refs? And then it also, in relation to that, Joe Flores asked, did you see that video of the ref throwing a flag as soon as the ball was snapped when we had 1 yard to go on first down? Pretty insane. Yeah, I did not love the refs today, although you cannot blame the entire loss on them. We definitely did plenty to lose this game, and you can't blame it all on the refs. However, that one, and he's talking about a specific play when it was Derrick Henry on a 3rd and run. He got the attempt, and then immediately when the ball was snapped, the holding a flag was thrown. That was a bad call, and for some reason Andy Reid accepted that penalty. I have no idea why, and then we failed on the 3rd and 11 anyway. But yeah, some shady stuff, and the most shady to me was, again, that Tremaine Brock pass interference. That was not pass interference. That was a bad call. I wanted us to challenge it. We didn't, and the game was lost from that point to me. I'm not really going to harp on Mike Vrabel today because he's, riding up to this great AFC Championship run that we had, and he made the quarterback change that I would not have made. But that's something that I thought should have been challenged because it was a bad call. And I know Gene Steratore, who sounded like he was calling from the depths of hell during the broadcast today, I know he said that, hey, well, the quarterback didn't get his head around. Who cares? He didn't touch him. He barely touched him. That's not a penalty. So anyway, that's just how I think about that. I was not a fan of the refs today, but you cannot blame them for the loss today either. So, with that said, I'll answer this one last question, and then we'll get out of here. It was actually a super chat that came from Mark King. Thank you for the super chat, Mark King. He says, what's up, MJ? What if Tannehill signs a 2-year deal worth about $40 million? The problem is that's not happening. We're going to go through the figures, but that's not happening. I can guarantee you that's not happening. He is going to sign for at least $25 million per year. At least. That's the going rate. Point blank, period. And I say at least $27, $28 million a year, but it's not 20. 20 is ridiculously low. No one's signing for 20. The only people signing for 20, actually no one, is literally no one. And maybe even a transitional guy. Yeah, transitional guys, yeah, but he's not signing for 20. At least not for this team. He's not a transitional guy, not anymore. So you're talking at least $25 million per year. And we're going to get into the specifics of his contract because we're going to have plenty to talk about in the upcoming weeks in terms of that and not much in terms of anything else. So there's going to be plenty of discussions on this for Tighten Up Thursdays every week. Come on Thursday here, Thursday nights, Sports Fan Entertainment. We talk about the Tennessee Titans, but there's no way he'll sign for 2 years, $40 million, at least $25 million per year is what Ryan Tannehill is going to ask. We had one more super chat, so I want to get to that as well. Wanda just go gave another one. Thank you for yet another super chat, and she says, "Good night, MJ. Thank you for the comfort after this terrible game." And yeah, it sucks, and it's awful. You know, it hurts a lot. We got our hopes up, we got excited, and again, there's not many things in this world that I love. There's not many people, to be quite honest with you, that I love in this world. I love this football team. I love this football team. I bleed this football team. People, I hate people. I already have my phone is already blowing up with people hitting me up saying, I told you. Like, shut up. What's wrong with you people? Don't kick a man when he's down. Or you people out of your mind. Some people want to get slapped tonight. It hurts. You know, I just saw my football team, the team that I love, go down in the AFC. I sound like Eddie Guerrero right there. The team that I love. Go down in the AFC Championship game, a game in which they have not played for over 16 years. And who knows when they're coming back. And we're going to talk about how they can come back, and we're going to talk about how we can form an AFC powerhouse and how we can consistently get to this point, and not only this point, but points beyond, and get to that Super Bowl that has had our names needing it attached to for decades. But unfortunately, it could not happen today. Congrats to the Kansas City Chiefs and their fans. You guys got it done. We have a long offseason ahead of us, but ultimately, it was a very nice season. And if you would have told me before the year, you would have told me in August of 2018, the Tennessee Titans will make the AFC Championship, I would have said, that's okay with me. So we still did well this year. We just have 2 more steps to go. And now let's focus on getting those steps. But tonight, we cry. Until next time, this has been MJ Sports Fan Entertainment. I'll be back for Tighten Up Thursdays, and I'm out. See you all later.